Hello everyone, I'm Pacific the Casual Gamer, and today we're gonna build on the one of the betas I made. I think this was beta episode 12, where I talked about nothing to do in my small town. And we're gonna build upon this and talk about what I think we can do and what the future might look like in my town. Now, to give you guys kind of an estimate of where I would put my town, let's just say, modern cities like LA and New York, those are, current 2017, right? I would definitely put my town kind of in the late to mid 90s in terms of technological awesomeness. I mean, we still have some things where we have self checkouts, restaurants have, the touchpads that you can order from, but there's really no tech. And if there is stuff, it's usually just still like sporting and stuff. Sports that were popular in the 90s, like snowboarding, still stuff like that. But that's where I would put my town. So I think one of the biggest things that my town needs is more stuff for the teenagers to do, because there's a lot of bars, there's a lot of places for adults, but there's not a lot of stuff for teens. There used to be arcades, and there used to be, fun stuff for teens to do, but all the stuff that was popular in the 90s then didn't get improved upon. Arcades were cool in the 90s and late 80s, right? They're not cool because we got home gaming consoles, right? So that's an issue. I tell someone I could literally make an airsoft business on this island. Build an indoor airsoft course where you just rent the space out and you buy BBs and rent the guns out, and then you just airsoft each other. You do whatever, you rent the face mask, you do it all. I could easily make a business, because literally within a 1 hour, 1.5 hour drive, there's nothing like that. There's nothing cool like that. There's nothing for teens to do. There's no real clothing shops within the area, right? In terms of restaurants, there's no good restaurants either. All right? I literally have eaten at every place in this town. I've eaten at every place. And I still, I've eaten most of the stuff, okay? And I went to Red Robin the other day, which is in a different town. We don't have a Red Robin. And their burgers outperformed everyone's. Their restaurant outperformed everyone's where I live. And the town it was in is a town where business is not going well. So that shows my town business is going well and stuff ain't going right. Alright, we're being beat by the other town. That's basically what I'm saying. I definitely think more acceptance of internet culture should be a thing, because I noticed that as a teenager, the internet culture still stayed within the school, right? We still could, Snapchat's still a thing, right? And Tumblr was a thing. I don't know if Tumblr's still a thing. It was a thing, with the 14-year-olds that all decided they were depressed even though they were just pissed off at everything, right? That's still a thing. But not nearly to the degree with everyone else as you would expect. I mean, legit, gaming in this town, home consoles, there's a good proportion of people my age that play video games in this town. But there's also a lot of people that still are just there's nothing to do, so I do stuff outdoors, da-da-da. And it's no, you have the internet. The internet has a lot. And I mean, if you want to talk about the lack of technology, there's no video editors on this island. Which, by the way, where I live, I'm going to try to be the video editor guy, because we're a small town, right? The tech guy, the car guy, the storage space guy, right? I want to be the video editor guy, just because then there's no competition. There's literally no one else, all right? In a place with 22,000 people living, there ain't no one else that does what I do, right? There's a couple people that do stuff similar to me. There's a couple people that dabble in YouTube, but to the degree that I'm doing it at, there's no one. And I like to talk about these issues because I know there's people out there that live in small towns, and there's people that live in big cities. There's issues in big cities, but not a lot of people talk about the specifics of the issues of living in small towns where progress is slow. All right, the world is moving way faster, way farther by than my town can keep up with. And I am worried that in the future, just like towns that got abandoned because Eisenhower built the interstates and all the highways, this town in the future is not going to succeed. And we're just not going to be able, we might be able to live here, but we need to start like really integrating and becoming futuristic like everyone else. Right? Like just the other day, I went to Office Max, okay? And I was like, I need to look for a work laptop for intense computing, right? They had nothing that you would consider good for laptop computing, all right? Like the best processor they had was the kind of outdated version of the i7. The most RAM they ever had was 12, all right? In the whole store, the computer with the most RAM had 12 gigs, but it had an i5 processor, right? Like, and I can't find any computer parts, all right? So I have to order them off of Amazon, and Amazon's just based in like the city, right? So what's the point if you're not going to integrate the internet, right? I mean, we're starting to get delivery type services here, like with food. I mean, there's Domino's, a couple of the restaurants are starting to do that, which is progress, but not enough. So I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys live in a big city? Do you think these issues don't matter? Do you guys live in a small town? What are some of the issues in your town? Right, I told you mine. I want to hear yours. But guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, tell me in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new, because I'm Pacific the Casual Gamer, and I suck just as bad as you do at video games. And I'll see you in the next episode of whatever I decide to make.